If you want a real education for your child, then you need Freedom Project Academy. They've perfected live online learning for more than a decade. Freedom Project Academy is built on Judeo-Christian values and classical curriculum. They're dedicated to providing mastery of subject matter.
They're literally grooming your kids. I know it's an ad. I'm shocked at what the ad's for. This is like, they yell about grooming kids. They're literally grooming kids. There's nothing else to define this ad as. This is shocking. This is like, what the fuck? I don't want to hear there are people about them about grooming kids. You know what? It is time to talk about Matt Walsh. And, you know, I know who Matt Walsh is. You guys should all probably know who Matt Walsh is. But maybe when I clip this into a segment, there'll be somebody who doesn't really know Matt Walsh at all. So let's look at a little bit of Matt Walsh content. Just get a vibe for him. So here's his YouTube channel, Matt Walsh. He is a pundit for the Daily Wire. Fed up with talking heads, Matt Walsh gives you no holds barred take on today's cultural and religious political issues. I don't know why it's having issues with the banner. It keeps on. YouTube's weird. But anyways, this dude just did a movie called Am I a Racist? I know this is supposed to be kind of introducing Matt Walsh, but spoiler alert, yes, he is a racist. He is an absolute fucking bigot. There's actually a video I saw that I thought would be interesting. He actually names, I want to say, his top 5 least favorite superheroes. So let's look at that. So Matt Walsh ranks the 5 worst superheroes. Because obviously he's a comic book guy, right? It is funny when he talks about this random shit where it's like, dude, you do not give off nerd vibes at all.
It's no secret that I am not a big fan of superheroes. It's been...
So why are you talking about it? Just instantly, I'm like, why talk about it then? The fuck?
Nearly 24 years since I was 12, and so it has been nearly 24 years since I was a fan of superheroes. But still the question remains, of all the...
When was this released? Is he younger than me? Is Matt Walsh younger than me? Dude, I always assumed he was like late 40s or something. I guess he doesn't have a whole lot of salt in his beard. I assumed he was older than me. He comes off as boomer energy, like intense boomer energy. Like, oh my God. Matt Walsh is fucking 5 years younger than me. Holy shit. That is absolutely bizarre. Like, I want to say he gives off boomer energy, but like, I think even boomers look at his shit and go, fuck off.
The superheroes, which 5 are the worst? And I may not seem like the most qualified person to answer that question.
Yeah, you're not remotely qualified, but you do shit like this for probably just getting on the algorithm and probably maybe to groom people.
I think I'm the most qualified, actually. I can be entirely objective about this. And with that in mind, I thought today we would do something very important and review and rank the 5 worst superheroes. We'll go down the list from 5 to 1. We'll start here. Number 5, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, instantly great fucking take. Literally one of the most classic superheroes ever. How many Wonder Woman comic books have you read, Matt Walsh? You're really familiar? Have you read George Perez's stuff? He's got some good stuff. Current Tom King stuff is great. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Worst superhero ever. Worst superhero ever.
Okay. People actually watch this. People watch that on purpose. Grown adult men with kids who go to the theater to watch that. You know, when I brought that up before, I've been...
What is his point? It's a superhero story, bro. What the fuck? That is so, like, what the fuck does that even mean? Honestly. That's like one of the cooler scenes. You can argue that scene, the keying, the screening in that scene looks really, really rough, but it's a badass scene.
Been told, well, Gal Gadot is really hot. She's attractive. Well, of course I want to watch it. Get a girlfriend, dude.
That is something I would tell more for people who watch your stuff. They need to get a girlfriend. What the fuck? Now, Gal Gadot, she has a very pretty face. She is Israeli, so she's a bit of a Zionist, which is very much a turnoff for me. But I mean, she is attractive. But fun fact, I was actually a fan of Wonder Woman before she was cast in the role, because George Perez has fantastic Wonder Woman books out there that I highly recommend checking out.
Like, get married.
Yeah, and then Linda Carter too. Yeah, Linda Carter predates me. She's awesome, by the way. You don't like if you want a badass non-Zionist Wonder Woman, get Linda Carter's there.
Get a wife. You're gonna sit and watch a 2.5-hour terrible movie because she's attractive? There's lots of it. You can see attractive when you go to the grocery store to see.
The first Wonder Woman movie is totally decent. The third act kind of sucks, but like up until then, it's awesome. And I do like the storyline they give Wonder Woman. And he's not even attempting to properly track that. He just is saying Wonder Woman sucks. Okay, cool.
See attractive woman. Are you gonna sit and watch this terrible movie for that reason? Okay, first of all, who the hell dresses like that for trench warfare? That's what I'm trying to understand. So
fucking Wonder Woman, baby. Listen, man, there was totally a kink origin to Wonder Woman, and that's a lot of where her outfit comes from. That being said, they modernized it pretty well.
Oh, there's a war? Well, hang on, let me put my leather leotard on. And she's not impervious to bullets, right?
No, but she is tough, and she has fast enough reflexes to be able to deflect them for the most part.
She's not. So, just like...
Oh, random video game clip. Wow, fucking brilliant research. Yeah, this guy should definitely be talking about this shit. He knows what he's talking about.
Her little bracelets are impervious to bullets. So she's got 20 German guys firing at her, and none of the bullets hit any part of her body except for a couple that she can deflect. In order to block a bullet, she'd have to move her arm so quick that we don't even see it move. And yet she just kind of casually, there's a bullet. Are they
Yeah, it's almost like it's a superhero movie. I feel like already diving into this is just going to be, he's going to name, I mean, he's already got one woman on there. So I have a feeling these are all going to be women, and which should provide an interesting thesis statement.
Actually in real life firing slow motion bullets at Wonder Woman? Is that what's happening here?
I've never seen anyone move that fast.
The other guys, they get out and they start charging towards the German guys. But then inexplicably, the German guys also get out, and it's like Braveheart. That's not how trench warfare works. If you've got people charging at you, you stay in your trench and you just shoot them all. You mow them all down. They decide to get out, and then when that happens, Wonder Woman like jumps in the air, 50 feet and lands in the trench. Well, then why didn't you do that to begin with if you had that ability? She starts just kind of casually walking into the middle of the firefight, and then realizes, oh, I can do a super jump and just end up there. This is all to be expected for one of the lamest, corniest superheroes to ever be invented. Even the name, Wonder Woman. Can you imagine in real life?
But you don't appreciate all the little segments and stuff they're adding into this. This is a video that exists, by the way.
If somebody had superpowers and then decided they wanted to fight crime and they made that outfit for themselves, and you asked them what name they chose, and she said, I thought I'd go with Wonder Woman. Can we workshop that one a little bit? What are Wonder Woman's powers, anyway? She has magical bracelets, I guess. I think she has a whip, right? And
I don't know. It seems like something you should probably research when you're putting together this video, unless the whole point of this video is just to shit on women superheroes, which I feel like that's what we're leaning towards.
I think she has a van, like a mystery van. Or is that Scooby-Doo? No, she has the jet. She has an invisible jet.
I'm actually in the lavatory of the invisible plane.
Which would be...
The invisible jet is kind of funny. They make decent use of it lots of times, but is kind of funny.
Utterly useless against modern radar technology, by the way. So, lame, corny, useless, Wonder Woman, number 5. Let's go to number 4, Black Widow.
Yeah, so we're just going to name 5 women superheroes? Is that it?
Now, she should really be higher on the list, I think, but there are just too many lame superheroes to go around, so decisions have to be made. Black Widow, from what I understand, has no superpowers. So
MCU version doesn't have superpowers. In comic book, I believe she has like a milder version of the Captain America serum. And now she has a symbiote. So hey, she's not nearly as powerful as Wonder Woman, that's for damn sure. But yeah, she's not powerless. Plus, I mean, just being a really effective fighter, that'll get you buying comic books. I mean, look at Batman.
Oh, she's just like she's a chick, right? She's just a woman. What is a woman? She's Scarlett Johansson. Is Black Widow, and Scarlett Johansson is 5'3" tall and like 90 pounds. And we're supposed to believe that this.
Yes, it's almost like she's supposed to be like a really well-trained fighter. And yes, I feel weird even debunking this because this is so self-explanatory, just like pure sexism going on.
Skinny little female with no special magical powers is going.
And in case you're wondering, I mean, this is part of the agenda. I mean, we figured this out kind of with I mean, the point is these are women in non-traditional roles, so he's going to shit on them. There are plenty of men who are male characters who are quite a bit lamer than Wonder Woman and Black Widow, but let's focus on them because they're taking roles that women aren't supposed to be taking. That's part of the agenda of all these conservative online networks.
Around beating the hell out of dudes 3 times their size. All these goons are standing there. None of them are armed. They wouldn't just pull out a gun and just shoot her in the head? End of storyline? And I get that this is fiction.
Yeah, it's a superhero story, bro.
But you might as well have a character who...
Well, also, like, she was getting the jump on them, too. Let's be serious.
Who is a baby. Have a Stewie Griffin show up and just make him one of your Avengers.
Oh, I feel as invincible as Superman.
I can't take it seriously. You know, in the past, public schools were simply neglecting foundational subjects like math, English, science.
So is this like some sort of pitch? What are we doing?
Science and history. Many looked the other way. Now we see that woke teachers are proudly bragging on social media about pushing radical, sometimes sexually charged propaganda on kids as young as 5 or even younger than that. There are even reports of teachers secretly hosting drag.
Wow. This is some real groomer shit right here.
Shows for students without the consent of parents, all with the blessing of unions and some members of Congress. If you want a real education for your child, then you need Freedom Project Academy. They've perfected live online learning for more than a decade. Freedom Project Academy is built on Judeo-Christian values and classical curriculum. They're dedicated to providing mastery of subject matter.
The fuck? They're literally grooming your kids. Holy fucking shit. Holy fucking, I know it's an ad. I'm shocked at what the ad's for. This is like, they yell about grooming kids. They're literally grooming kids. There's nothing else to define this ad as. This is shocking. This is like, what the fuck? I don't want to hear nor peep about them about grooming fucking kids. The fuck is this shit?
Not leftist propaganda. Go to freedomforschool.com. That's freedomforschool.com to request your free information packet today.
Yeah, I think that's it. That is shocking. I mean, holy shit. Okay, we're about ready to get to number 3. Anybody want to guess what it'll be? I'm guessing whoever it is, it's going to have a vagina. That is my guess. I'm trying to think other famous women superheroes. There really should be more. I wonder if Storm will make the list. He's got Wonder Woman on there, so Storm wouldn't surprise me. Of course, I don't know. Storm has, Supergirl probably will. Supergirl will probably make the list. Batwoman's got to make the list. CW's Batwoman that Shud's let go after that. So Batwoman's definitely going to make the list.
ORSchool.com. So Black Widow is number 4. Now we'll go to number 3 with She-Hulk.
I just want to be.
Oh, okay. So this is I wonder if this is when the trailer came out or something to do. But yeah, they hate She-Hulk now too with that series.
A normal, anonymous lawyer.
Can you tell us where She-Hulk is?
Jen, you're a story now.
They're just playing clips from the trailer, so I bet you this was before the actual series came out, which means, Matt, you have to be judging this based on the comic books you read in research, right, Matt? Right? Because if you didn't actually research this stuff, it just seems like you're being kind of fucking sexist, you know?
Girl, your ass looks crazy right now. You could be an Avenger.
Oh, I'm not a superhero. That is for billionaires and narcissists and adult orphans for some reason.
Now, I mean, I went over it at the time. The She-Hulk series, it's weird. I think the series was fine. It had episodes that I thought were really fucking awesome. That Daredevil episode was awesome. There's quite a few episodes in that series that I thought were really awesome. And then there's lots of episodes that were just kind of I could leave it. Yeah, so it's kind of back and forth. At the end of the day, I think I'm I like it, but yeah. Yeah. I'd probably say it was overall better than the Acolyte. I'd probably put it above the Acolyte, but even the Acolyte was decent. I don't know. Ooh, Harley Quinn she does have that animated series that Chuds occasionally like to go after. Harley Quinn might make the list. And it's kind of sad that now we're at the point, a comic book character with a vagina is up for grabs. Because it's obviously what he's doing.
Is there anything more depressing than dating in your 30s?
Yeah, this is the best date I've had in a while.
Oh.
Should we split some fries?
Let's get those to go.
Okay, now, as far as the film itself,
That was actually kind of a cool scene. Come on.
but I know I'm kind of conflating, I'm ranking the films and also the characters. I'm conflating two, but whatever, we're just going to go with it. The CGI is on the level of the 1970s Hulk. It's about on that level. We've come full circle, actually. And this is just a woman in green makeup. This looks like if a high school...
That is CGI. The CGI, for the most part, I thought was fine in the series. But yeah, there were definitely spotty moments. This shot in particular is absolutely fine.
School put on a stage production of Shrek. That's kind of what it would look like there. And the Hulk...
Ha, 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 because they're green. Ha.
Though, as a character, is dumb enough. He's a superhero that any 8-year-old could make up. And pretty much every 8-year-old has made up the Hulk independently before discovering that the Hulk exists.
He's really strong and, really, really strong.
Anything else about him?
He's green. He's a strong green guy.
Every movie with the Hulk, that's the question that they're asking.
The Hulk is based on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Obviously, but it's a superhero form of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which is pretty fucking cool in my opinion.
Asking you to contemplate. What if there was a strong green guy who existed? And you just watch and you see, okay, this is what would happen. So that's dumb enough. But then you take him and give him a sex change, and it's even worse. You have a female Hulk. Well,
what was cool about She-Hulk is that it's a bit different, because just because she's green doesn't mean she's just this rage monster. Hulk gets angry, turns green, and he's a big old rage monster. There's not a whole lot of control he has. She actually has some control over it. The issues are not always.
What are we going to call her? She-Hulk, let's call her. Not very progressive. I mean, in this day and age, in the year 2022, you're going to put pronouns in front of a Hulk, and you're just going with she? What about a non-binary Hulk? Can we get a they Hulk? Get another...
They make they like to make a big deal out of the pronoun stuff, as if people are offended by traditional pronouns, and nobody is. These right-wing pundits and grifters make a big deal out of the newer pronouns people make, which, I mean, I'll be 100% honest. I do think that sometimes gets a little silly, but I don't care. My opinion is kind of just respect people's pronouns. If they tell you they would like to go by a certain set of pronouns, try to do that. I don't see that as being a big deal. However, most people do use traditional pronouns like she, her, he, him, and That is fine. Nobody is offended by that. Only people like Matt Walsh are offended by not she, her, they, he, him pronouns.
The problem. What are we on now? Number 2 is some superhero called Captain Marvel.
Oh, well, of course, Captain. How did I not name Captain Marvel? Of course, Captain Marvel's gonna make the list. They love to make fun of Captain Marvel. By the way, that first movie is totally underrated. It has its issues, but it's a solid fucking movie. Yes, no doubt was a little bit on the nose and a bit cringe, but like the actual action in the scene is totally decent. How does Daily Wire avoid copyright? Now I'm kind of concerned this stream will get copyrighted. Jesus Christ, stop playing the song. I'm just pausing it to break up the song right at this point.
You knew all along. Is that why we never hung out?
No, I just never liked you.
How's Daily Wire get away with this? The fuck is he doing? Yeah, doing shit like this will help get away from copyright, but goddamn, that was a long segment. Playing the fucking song in the background. Bro. Oh my god, this how are you playing this scene so long? What the fuck?
I feel concussed. I feel brain damaged watching this. You really, it's one of those things you do get dumber. Did anybody watch this? Maybe no one watched this one. I don't know. I hope nobody did. They really played I'm Just a Girl during that scene.
1.1 billion, I believe, was the box office on that one.
They really did that. Did we put that in, or is that in the movie itself? Oh, it's in the movie. They put that in the movie. They might as well have her shout girl power while she's like, she does a drop kick and she's like, girl power. And what are Captain Marvel's powers exactly, besides girl power? She has super strength, super speed, super agility, and super durability. She also has healing powers, and she can fly at the speed of sound, and she can shoot magical laser light beams out of her hands. They just decided she could.
Yeah, it's pretty much like Superman, but not quite as powerful.
Can do everything, which is just as lazy as giving her no powers, and just as boring, incidentally. In fact, it's, if anything, more boring. One of my fundamental problems with these superhero films is that there's no tension at all. These are people who are indestructible. They can do anything, even if something bad somehow does happen.
So if you don't like superhero media, why are you talking about it? Are you doing it to groom people?
And now with the Marvel movies, we're introducing other universes. So there's multiple. So we just, you can kill somebody off and just replace them. There's an infinite number of Spider-Mans. You can just replace. What's the point of any of this? There's no tension here. There's no suspense at all. Zero. Anyway, what we're talking about. Oh, Captain Marvel. Not to mention the distribution of powers among all these heroes and villains is so uneven that it doesn't make any sense when they all fight each other. So you've got like a superhero with super strength who can fly faster than a sound wave and incinerate you with light beams out of her eyes or whatever, and she's somehow drawn into a stalemate against some other character who learned karate in 5th grade. 1 minute someone is a god. And
well, she doesn't have her powers fully unlocked until the end of the movie, Matt. I guess it would require watching the movie and understanding it to get that. But I mean, we all know you're really bad at that. That's asking a lot.
has all the powers in the world. Next minute, if the scene requires him to just be sort of a normal dude, then that's what he is. Doesn't make any sense. And I'm trying not to hold Brie Larson against Captain Marvel. Brie Larson is insufferable, but that's not the character's fault.
Is that like a personal attack or something? Or...
My problem with the character is that she's boring, pointless, and lazy. Finally, this has gone on way longer than it should or I ever thought it would. We'll go to number one, and that is Batwoman.
I'm Regan, by the way.
KK.
He married your ex and has no idea.
Wow, you're good.
often. Am I right?
Yeah.
Hey. Are you okay? Yes, you're in the...
Okay, all right, I got enough of that. So this is on the CW, I think. So at least in this case, nobody is watching it, so I can at least say that. So that's the good thing. So that's Batwoman, I think, and Batwoman is a lesbian. No big surprise there.
What is?
I mean, canonically, yes.
Lesbian.
The problem with Batwoman is very similar to the Black Widow problem because she has no superpowers, no special abilities, and
So why doesn't Batman make this list? Why isn't Batman #1 if that sucks for Batwoman? It's a weird take, Matt.
yet I'm supposed to take her seriously as this physically imposing presence, somebody who beats up bad guys. And that doesn't work because there has to be a certain intimidation factor for the character to work. And no one, you're looking at this chick, nobody's intimidated. And this is worse for Batwoman because you have Batman to compare her to. And every time Batwoman is on screen, you're just thinking how much better it would be if it was Batman. And there's certainly never a time when, as a victim, you'd prefer to have Batwoman come save you. You know, I'd rather have Robin.
Robin? They said you?
There's another member of the...
I mean, he says that as an insult, but Robin is awesome. And you would know that if you actually read or liked any of this stuff, Matt.
LGBT community. But you'd rather have him show up. What she lacks in physical ability, I guess she makes up for in wokeness. So she is, in fact, the worst.
Ooh, you said wokeness. Can you define it? You'll define it here. You just used a word. Can you define it for me?
Superhero. And the fact that all 5 of the worst ones are women, it's not my fault. Okay, I didn't plan it that way. It's just I didn't make this list. I simply observed.
Guys, I was just observing. It's just a quinky dink that the 5 worst superheroes ever are women. I'm not selling an agenda about like women in non-traditional roles being bad or anything. Jesus Christ.
Observed it. It was written in the stars, and it's an objective reality. Don't blame me. Blame the people who came up with this absolute nonsense. Well, those were a bunch of...
All right, so we got a vibe of what Matt Walsh's channel is like. Now, I'm going to see if I can find some more videos here. All right, so this is a dude with some interesting rants that we can go over here.
It is not. In fact, ever since the beginning of time, teenage girls have been getting pregnant. It used to be more common. The peak, ever since they started keeping records of these things, which they only started doing recently, like in the 20th century, but ever since they started keeping records, in 1957 was the peak for teenage pregnancy. 1957. Not 2009,
well, back
not
then,
today.
All of them were supposed to have kids. Like, that's when you had kids.
That's my point, okay? So to all of a sudden act like this phenomenon of girls getting pregnant at a young age that we consider young, 16 or 17, to act like it's a new thing is ridiculous. It's always been that way. Even biologically, and this is me just stating, right now I'm going to start by just stating facts. So fact number 1, it's not a new phenomenon. Fact number 2, in fact, it's a phenomenon that was more common earlier in history, and for the first 6,000 to 10,000 years of human existence, it was a normal thing. Fact 3, girls between the ages of like 17 and 24 is when they're technically most fertile.
Yeah.
Okay? That's biological. That's a fact, all right? I'm just stating facts. That's all I'm doing. But what happened recently, and this is the 4th fact, recently in the last 30 years or so, we decided that that's way too young to start a family.
Why?
And because now
divorce rates would probably go up, and once you're that young, you can't really make sure that you know.
No, girls are no.
Because girls were getting married early, and marriages were lasting longer. You very rarely hear about like these relationships that go to their your diamond anniversary, your 50th anniversary, and all this. That's a dying breed of people out there.
Yeah, and those were all people that got married very young. That's why
they're still alive.
Yeah, that's why you can have someone in their 70s who's celebrating their 55th wedding anniversary because they got married when they were teenagers. So what I'm saying is that the problem is not per se teenage pregnancy; it's unwed pregnancy. That's the problem in society. It's only problematic when you are not married and you don't have the man there to help you take care of the kids because he's a coward. And the reason why we have that now are for two reasons. Because we have in current society, we live in the age of extended adolescence.
That is Matt Walsh as saying that the issue is not teenage pregnancy. The issue is that these teenagers aren't getting married. That teenage girls are fertile, and therefore they should be getting impregnated, and they should be getting married when they're teenagers. Really fucked up. Really, really fucked up. Yeah, that is a fucked up claim. Let me go ahead and dig up, because there's like Matt Walsh has a couple of these clips that are absolutely fucking wild.
Actresses willingly have sexual relationships with powerful men, sometimes for years. Asia Argento herself, I believe, she was in a sexual relationship ongoing with Harvey Weinstein for like 5 years. She kept going back and engaging in this, in this stuff with him. And they do this for the sake of movie roles and so on. And for more, power and clout in the industry. And then years later, after getting what they want out of it, they claim that they were being assaulted the entire time. And in the Catholic Church, you have some cases where, like cases involving Cardinal McCarrick. You hear about Cardinal McCarrick and the controversy surrounding him. Now, there are accusations that he molested children. So, that's in that category. But then a lot of the accusations you hear about McCarrick and also with other, some of these other things as well. These are, in some cases, he's having sex with seminarians. These are grown men who he allegedly lured into bed and then had sex with. But as a grown man, if you let another man lure you into bed and then you willingly, with no resistance, engage in sex acts with him, does that belong in the same category as the 12-year-old kids who are raped by men twice their size? I think clearly it doesn't. And then you also have the accusations against Asia Argento, where a guy at 17, legal age, in almost every state in the union, willingly has sex with this, 100-pound Italian model, making no effort to leave the room or leave the situation. Then he comes back, blackmails her, demands money for it, and gets paid. And now he says he was traumatized by his willing participation in sex acts with a woman when he was a few months away from his 18th birthday. Does that belong in the same category as a woman or a child who gets pinned down and raped by a sex predator?
Yes, he has lots of really bad clips. This guy is frankly terrible. As you can probably tell from at least that video, he's a sexist. And he just came out with a movie called Am I a Racist? And the answer is yes, of course. But here we go. We're gonna. I apologize, guys. We're gonna go ahead and suffer through the trailer.
Books, records, films, these things matter. Call me shallow. It's the fucking truth.